Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken is the latest in the line of DreamWorks animation pictures. It stars the voice talent of Lana Candor, Jane Fonda, as well as Toni Collette. Really solid line of actors here, and from the looks of things, I wasn't really all that anticipated to go in here, but recently, DreamWorks has been on a roll, so with an original idea like this one, I was willing to go in there and give it a shot. But stop me if you've heard this one before. Ruby Gillman in this movie is a sweet and awkward 15-year-old high school student who discovers that she's a direct descendant of the warrior Kraken queens. The Kraken are sworn to protect the oceans of the world against the vain, power-hungry mermaids. Destined to inherit the throne from her commanding grandmother, voiced by Jane Fonda, Ruby must use her newfound powers to protect those she loves most. Now, positives first. If you look at the animation of this movie, the colors are absolutely breathtaking. I think if you have young children in your family over the 4th of July weekend and they want to go out and do something fun, this may be your ticket just to get them out of the house for a while, get them inside a nice air-conditioned room and watch a brand new movie from DreamWorks. Yeah, this is serviceable. And like I said, it's a very colorful movie to look at. The voice talent in here is also really solid across the board. Toni Collette is a very interesting character in here, probably the most interesting character of the bunch. Lana Candor as your main character is very likable. Jane Fonda does have some very fun moments as the commanding Kraken, if you will. You also get Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek in this movie, voicing the character of Chelsea. And I'll just say this, I'm very happy to see Annie Murphy's career on the upward trajectory after Schitt's Creek ended back in 2020. Please give her more work. She is so freaking funny and so freaking talented. But unfortunately, it feels to me like the way DreamWorks has been on a roll, it's been with their pre-existing IPs. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish from last year, one of my favorite animated movies of the past 5 years or so. And I'm so glad that so many people went to support that because Shrek 5 sounds like it's happening. Kung Fu Panda 4 is supposed to be releasing in theaters next year. And I feel like for DreamWorks to be successful, they should be relying more on those direct IPs that have helped them in the past. And this is contrary to what I've been saying about Disney, because Disney is Disney. They're stable no matter what. But there were only 3 people in the theater today when I saw this movie, myself included. I feel like that's because this is a whole new idea. Not many people are familiar with it. Not many people found the trailers or the marketing all that appealing. Because unfortunately, Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken is extremely formulaic. And I feel like the people who were watching the trailers not going to see this movie, I feel like they might have been right. Now, if you look at the animation stylings of this movie, it's right set on the water. You know, it's very tempting for Ruby Gillman to go inside of. And she turns into a very colorful fish creature. Where have I seen that one before? And the storytelling beats of this movie and the lore, the fact that she turns into this gigantic monster when she reaches an emotional breaking point. Where have I seen that before? Joking aside, say what you want about both of these Disney Plus exclusives, at least they're both pretty original ideas. And I feel like Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken has the disadvantage of coming out so freaking close to both Luca and Turning Red. Because this overall feels like a gigantic potpourri of stuff Disney did better in recent years. Which brings me to perhaps my biggest issue with this movie. Annie Murphy's character, Chelsea, her design, like, she is designed exactly like Ariel. Like the classic 1989 Ariel. The red hair, she's a mermaid, she has this yearning to explore the human world. Like, God, I've seen it before. Speaking of seen it all before, the big plot twist in this movie revealing who the villain is, I could sense it coming from a mile away. Like, as soon as the first act was over, I was like, okay, this is how the movie's gonna play out. This person's gonna betray that person. They're gonna come to this misunderstanding. They're gonna make up at this point. It's sad to say, but I was able to predict every single major story beat of Teenage Kraken here. So unfortunately, I don't really think I can recommend this movie for anybody over the age of 12, because then again, very predictable story, and the dialogue is so freaking cringy. Now granted, I wouldn't say it's as cringy as a Shark Tale or a Boss Baby. Don't get me twisted. I would much rather rewatch Ruby Gillman over both of those movies. But for a studio that seemed like it was just going upwards on the trajectory, with the exception of The Bad Guys, which was an original IP from last year, really dig that movie and what it was trying to do. I think if DreamWorks wants to stay successful in the post-pandemic era, contrary to the advice I would give Disney, I would recommend that DreamWorks really hone it in on those pre-existing IPs that everybody knows and loves. The Shreks, the Kung Fu Pandas, the How to Train Your Dragons of the world. Because if this movie continues to play to theaters that looked like mine today, this studio's in trouble. And I'm sure with the role that they've been on, this was probably just a one-hit wonder for them in terms of the mediocrity. But if it keeps going on this downward, uninspired trend, I'm concerned. I was still glad I saw it at least once. I would definitely recommend you guys check it out at least once for yourself, but maybe wait until streaming. I'm gonna give Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken a C. Yeah, just super disappointing all the way around. It's beautiful to look at, and the voice talent, like I said, is solid, but the fact that it's just so darn predictable and the dialogue is so freaking cringy, you might sit there thinking it's pretty unremarkable like I did. But let me know what you thought of Ruby Gillman down in the comments section below. What is your favorite coming-of-age style movie? Let me know all those thoughts and much more down there in the comments. As always, I love creating these videos for you guys. Getting to interact with you makes this all the more fun for me. If you're new, you're all invited to the party. Do consider smashing that subscribe button, and please give that thumbs up a hit as well. Really helps the channel and really helps continue to grow this community over here. Stay tuned for more videos, guys. I'm going to keep trudging on with my Mission Impossible series in the build up to MI7 next week. I can't freaking wait. Stay tuned for all those videos, and it's going to be an exciting time over here. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much again for supporting this channel. And with all that being said, back talk commence.